All right, let's try and get the latest now on that situation. And we're joined by Global Sumud Flotilla South African delegation spokesperson Sunny Morgan. Mr. Morgan, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time. The latest on the abducted activists. What do you know at this stage? There are suggestions that Israel is likely to deport the activists.
Yes, so at the moment, of course, during the day, we got confirmation that all six of our delegates have been abducted by the Israeli regime. The process is that they would be taken to the port of Ashdod, where they will be processed through the system. We have a legal team on site to receive them. They have been briefed about who those people are and what the process is. It most likely they will be deported. The deportation is you can voluntarily agree, or they can arrest you and then forcibly deport you. The idea that the Israelis will behave according to international law and respect all the norms is very, very remote. So we expect deportation. We have heard that deportation might be to a place in Europe, all of them together, but we don't have confirmation of that at the moment.
There's been strong condemnation for Israel's actions. Do we know at this stage whether all of the activists are safe in terms of harm? No harm has come to them. Are you able to tell us that?
No. We'd like to think that everyone is safe. We'd like to assume that, again, Israel is operating according to norms that indicate how they must treat people in their custody, but they're unpredictable, so we don't know at the moment, and we can't confirm if they are all well. We have every hope that they are all well, because this time it's such a large team, such a large of over 500 activists. So I think there's a strength in numbers, though.
There was at some point when it became clear that Israel was either going to do what they've ultimately done, which is to block the flotilla from continuing into Gaza. But there were also reports of some skirmishes. And at that point, countries like Italy and I think Spain, they did say that they were sending warships in order to protect the activists. But later reports came back to say those ships had retreated. Why did that happen? Are you disappointed by that action?
Extremely disappointed. I think we know that the Italians had sent, for instance, their naval ship, and so did the Spanish. Then reports came that Turkey was going to send some assistance, and Greece as well. But let's focus on the Italian one for a moment. The Italian one was primarily sent to appease the large tens, if not hundreds of thousands of activists on the street that were compelling their government to do something. But if you listen to the speeches that the Prime Minister made, she certainly wasn't on board, fully and totally committed to the flotilla. So she was speaking literally against the flotilla and said, she didn't think it was worthwhile, it shouldn't be done. But they sent the boat nevertheless, and the boat was sent under pressure from the tens of thousands of people that promised to protest. And I believe now the unions and the workers will see a massive protest, even bigger than the first one, because they did promise, and the workers can be held to their word. They did promise that if the flotilla is intercepted in any way, they will bring Italy to a standstill. And we have reports during the day that they have already been amassing at the various railway stations around the country and in public parks. I expect to see again a big shutdown. Very disappointing that these military countries with naval ships could behave in this way, but it's not unexpected because the minute Israel declared the naval blockade, they just they scattered away, and really, really disappointing that they did not do what they promised. And
Yeah.
again, I want to make this point: these are 500 people on 45 boats, when there are 12,000 military naval ships in the armies and the navies of the world, and they're just sitting idle in harbors or parked off when and the work of saving the Gazans from the ultimate shame of starvation and death is on the shoulders of ordinary people, 500 ordinary people in a makeshift flotilla.
Yeah.
It's disgraceful to the armies of the world.
The strong view here, Mr. Morgan, is that this is not only a violation of international law by Israel, but also the violation of the International Court of Justice's injunction that humanitarian aid should not be blocked or impeded from flowing into Gaza. Does this, in a way, confirm for you that indeed what is being conducted by Israel here is genocide?
Oh, that's not even a debate. It's been genocide for a long time. All sane people can recognize the genocide when they see it. Every single major organization, including Israeli genocide scholars, know it's a genocide. So that's not even under debate. What's under debate is, how does Israel have the impunity and the protection that it has to behave in such an abysmal way? They are not bound to any of the social norms, any of the legal norms, any of the humanitarian norms, and all of the norms that dictate how states or individuals or people should exist as part of a society. They've broken all of that, and so whatever they do is not. It can be expected that if you think something is bad, they're going to do something worse, and they just confirm that they a pariah state. They behave in that way. One of the demands is, okay, so you've taken the boats, you've taken all our activists from around the world. Now, what are you going to do with the aid that was on 45 boats? I'm pretty sure that they're not going to give in to our demand that it be given to an aid organization and make its way without fail to the shores of Gaza, where people are probably still waiting to see the boats that they thought would be arriving and is now no longer going to be arriving. So, and at the same time, while that is the aid in 45 small boats, there are 3,000 trucks at the border that they won't allow in. And there's enough aid at the border, medicine, foods, baby formula, and much needed things for the starvation to stop. And the aid organizations indicate to us that it's enough to last for months, but they won't allow it in.
Finally,
they just won't allow it in.
Finally, Mr. Morgan, I take it, therefore, that this almost puts an end to the attempt to try and deliver aid to the people of Gaza. Is there going to be any other attempt beyond this? And when do you think you'll be able to reconnect with the activists that have been abducted?
So definitively, we can't say when we'll reconnect. That's entirely up to how Israel behaves in this situation. But to answer your question more directly, no, every single person on that boat, the planners, the Freedom Flotilla, all the organizers are adamant that if they get stopped, they'll just keep on going back. There are people on that have now been abducted, that this will be their third or fourth time that they've been on a flotilla. There is another initiative that is being coordinated out of Malaysia. It's called 1,000 Medellins. So the planning is in an advanced stage for that to take place another flotilla to leave at the end, perhaps at the end of October. It's still in the planning stages.
Yeah.
Today we heard, I can't confirm if it's true, but we heard that 45 boats will leave from Turkey in response to this interception of this current flotilla. But rest assured, activists, humanitarians, and just peace-loving people around the world are not going to stop in the face of this retaliation from the Israelis. And I think people will be emboldened to join more of these flotillas. It must be said that we cannot depend on the global north, the imperialists that have not behaved in any kind of way that is commendable. So it's left to ordinary people like you and I and the listeners here to apply to join these flotillas, and we'll keep on doing this until Palestine is free, until Gaza, the starvation stops in Gaza.
Sunny Morgan, thank you very much for your time. He speaks for the South African delegation that was part of the Global Sumud Flotilla. And as you've heard him say there, that the activists are likely to be taken to one of the areas where Israel will then process those that it has taken for them to be deported to the next country, which is somewhere in Europe. Okay.